who's the Director of Policy for the American Principles Project. John was instrumental in helping me craft the age verification legislation that I have here in the state and that we're co-sponsors of. But John, I think, will help us with the policy aspect of this and maybe shed some light on some of the other states' initiatives if you have that information for us. John, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Assemblyman. Good afternoon. My name is John Schweppe. I'm the Policy Director at American Principles Project, a pro-family group based out of Virginia. I'm proud to be here today in support of protecting kids online. As it stands currently in New Jersey, online porn websites are free to distribute the most hardcore porn imaginable to children. There's no consequences for doing so. This has led to a proliferation of porn use among young people. According to one study, the average age of first porn use is now just 12 years old. Across the country, we've now passed 19 age verification bills that seek to solve this problem using the least restrictive means possible. Because the technology has improved greatly in the last few years, age verification is as easy as ever, as Ian Corby testified to, and there are a number of feasible ways to do it. These bills require online porn websites to choose one of those ways and implement a functional age verification system to prevent minors from accessing their pornographic content. Almost everyone here should be able to agree that we don't want kids accessing online porn, just like we don't want them smoking or drinking or gambling. I'm from a state that has legalized sports betting, but kids can't place bets because FanDuel, DraftKings, and all the other sports betting apps have age verification software in place. This protects kids from picking up an addictive habit before their brains have fully developed and matured, and it's not an undue burden on adults. It's extremely easy, trust me, it's extremely easy to place a sports bet in Virginia. But frankly, protecting kids from porn is more important than protecting them from cigarettes, beer, and gambling. We've already seen the damage porn has done. Numerous studies have linked porn use to mental health issues, relationship issues, sexually abusive behavior. I think a couple folks hinted at this study, but there was a study from Middlesex University in London. 44% of males and 29% of females reported that online pornography they had seen had given them ideas about the types of sex they wanted to try out. And the desire to practice what they had learned increased as kids got slightly older. So 21% for 11 to 12-year-olds, 39% for 13 to 14-year-olds, and 42% for 15 to 16-year-olds. And what that means, 21% of 11 to 12-year-olds reported seeing strange types of pornography online and then wanting to try it out. And for context, an 11-year-old is a fifth grader. To make matters worse, and I think this is important to say, it's a little awkward, but it's just true. The internet has made porn extremely weird. And caters to children. The #2 search for porn in the United States is the Japanese word for cartoon porn. This is some of the most psychologically disturbing pornography on the internet, and it's being targeted to kids, often featuring, and I'm not lying, this is absolutely true, featuring characters from Disney films, Saturday morning cartoon shows, etc. Because it's cartoon porn, there's no real world limitations, meaning that kids are being exposed to the most violent, sadomasochistic pornography imaginable. Kids get addicted to this stuff extremely quickly, and it completely warps their view of sexuality and potential romantic partners. It quite literally grooms kids, as highlighted by the Middlesex University study. And again, I can't stress this enough, this type of porn is being deliberately targeted at kids with no recourse for parents. Getting them hooked young is the point, and getting them addicted for life is the business model. So we know the stakes here. Devices are everywhere, home, work, school, and the library. The internet accompanies almost every single device. Parents simply can't shoulder this responsibility alone. I hear that all the time from legislators who might be skeptical of this, that parents should be able to do this. Well, we've had 20 years of an unregulated environment, and we know that personal filters, all these things, they're not working. And so, ultimately, I think we need to provide some help. I did want to touch on one thing that Assemblyman Ganamort brought up. I think part of the problem with the porn stuff is that we really are in a sinking boat. And there's all these different ways to bail water, and certainly we should try to do that. Education, parental resources, parental controls. There's even some new types of legislation. We have the device filters bills that have been introduced in a number of states. I know they're talking about app store age verification now, which would basically say Google and Apple should be the ones held responsible because that's a choke point for this type of material. But ultimately, age verification at the website level, this is plugging the boat. So I think this is the best way to go forward with it. I'm happy to chat. We've talked quite a bit about the actual text of the bill. These bills are not perfect by any means, We still have exemptions for social media, for search engines. I mean, there's a lot we'd like to do. We also need a federal solution. The reality is that these foreign websites, states just aren't going to have the enforcement capability of going after them. But we have some folks in Washington who are starting to look at what the states have been doing. Mike Lee has a bill called the Screen Act. I know there's some other ideas coming forward that want to help the states solve for this. So I think, you look at this and you're going to have lots of different bills to consider. I really think passing something and putting New Jersey on the map, that this is a bipartisan thing, that we have to protect our kids, and we're going to figure out each session what we need to do to finally solve the problem. I think that would be extremely helpful.
No, I'll just say thanks. I mean, we're learning today.
Yes.
So I learned from everyone here, but I appreciate that point. This is a good way to plug the hole in the boat, and I appreciate that perspective. Thank you very much.